Greetings, and welcome to The Destiny, a family-friendly cinematic fantasy story, narrated and directed by me, Timothy Harris. As we go on this epic journey, make sure to share The Destiny with all your fiction-loving friends. They will not be disappointed. And now, without further ado, let us dive right into the amazing world of The Destiny. Our story begins in the icy mountains of Vargarin, a place known for its unforgiving attitude toward unexperienced travelers. The weather here is harsh and tough, almost always in snow and ice, and the people that live here are even more so. We are in a valley known as the Valley of Serenity. Almost all of Vargarin is constantly in a terrible blizzard, but the peaks that surround the valley seem to stop most intense storms. Inside the valley is a single cabin, and living in this cabin is a family of 3. A mother, a father, and a son. The mother's name is Alara. Alara is 29 years old, 5'6", and 5 months pregnant. But despite her pregnancy, she still continues to wear a smile and serve her family by doing the laundry. She stands on the left side of the cabin, folding laundry by a clothesline that goes from the cabin to a nearby tree. The father's name is Vargarin. He is 31 years old and he is 5'9". He stands on the right side of the cabin, skinning a deer and preparing it for a future meal. In front of the cabin is a boy. His name is Puckett. Puckett is 10 years old and he is 4'8". Puckett runs quickly throughout the field trying to catch a snow mouse. Snow mice are typical house pets for anyone living in Vargarin. Able to clean and find food themselves, make these animals one of the only pets that the average townsfolk can have in a place as harsh as Vargarin. Vargarin stands at his workbench, cutting and slicing different pieces of meat off the deer.
Bucket, come here. I want to show you something.
About 5 seconds later, Vargarin looks away from his work and realizes that Puckett did not hear his request.
Bucket!
After Vargarin's louder call, Puckett realizes he is in trouble. With a head hung in guilt, he walks over to Vargarin's table and stands in front of him, as the mouse darts over to a crack in a tree. Vargarin calmly takes a breath, then smiles down at Puckett.
Come, let's catch this snow mouse of yours.
Vargarin puts his knives on the table, hangs his apron on a hook, and begins to walk closer to the tree with Puckett close to his side. As they approach the tree, Vargarin squats down beside Puckett.
You see him in there?
Yeah, I'll go chase him out.
But if you chase him, you're just going to scare him away.
Alara stops folding laundry and looks at the two of them talking to each other, and chuckles to herself. Oh yeah.
So if that doesn't work, then what should we do?
I don't know.
Not knowing is fine, but giving up isn't. We'll figure this out.
Puckett nods his head in agreement.
Here, I'll show you how you can help.
Vargarin reaches deep into his pocket and pulls out a handful of breadcrumbs.
You see, Puckett, snow mice love breadcrumbs. You think you can lure him out?
Puckett nods happily, and Vargan places the crumbs in Puckett's hands. Puckett, with breadcrumbs now in his hands, quietly makes his way over, and with closed eyes, puts his hands toward the tree. He waits for a few seconds, then hears sniffing and squeaking coming from the tree. Puckett opens his eyes in wonder as the snow mouse crawled slowly out of the crack. The mouse made its way down the tree and then leapt into his hands. The mouse begins to nibble on the crumbs, and Puckett chuckles as the mouse's whiskers tickle his hands. Vargan walks closer to Puckett and puts his hand on his shoulder.
Well done, my boy.
Puckett chuckles as the mouse's whiskers tickle his hands once more. Alara walks over to the both of them.
Puckett, what have you found? Can I keep him, please? It's just a snow mouse, it won't make trouble, I promise. All right. You may keep him.
Puckett smiles happily as the mouse begins to go to sleep in his hands. Alara and Vargan stand next to each other, smiling down at Puckett. But unfortunately, the moment of joy would not last long. On top of the peaks, about a mile away, are 3 soldiers, loyal to a tyrannical being known as the Titan. Clothed in black armor, their skin pale and lifeless, they stand 6'1", their eyes a fiery emerald green, and their hair as black as midnight. They are riding on black horses with manes that look to be smoke. They stand there, watching, waiting. They leap off their horses and begin to search feverishly.
Captain, there's nothing here. I refuse to believe that. We've searched all of Vargarin and still haven't found this child. He is near. I can feel it.
The captain grabs a spyglass from inside his satchel and puts his eye up to the glass. He looks for only a few moments until he spots the cabin.
Inform the Titan. We found him.
Vargan and Alara continue to happily watch Puckett. That is, until Vargan heard the faint sound of hoofbeats coming from the peaks. Vargan's smile slowly fades away from his face.
Vargan, what's wrong?
Alara eventually sees the horses atop the peaks, and that's when the soldiers begin to ride down. The sound of hoofbeats grows louder by the minute.
Alara, get yourself and Puckett inside. Now.
Alara runs and grabs Puckett by the arm, and both of them run inside the cabin. Vargan jogs over to his workbench, grabs his hand axe and knife, and dashes inside the cabin. Inside the cabin, Puckett continues to guard his mouse with a fearful look on his face.
Mama, what's going on? Why can't we be outside?
Alara rubs Puckett's head and quiets him, while Vargan moves quickly round the cabin, dragging and pushing different pieces of furniture in front of the doors and windows. Vargan is sweating hard. He has a terrified look in his eyes.
Papa, what's going on?
A heavy knock on the door pierces through the chaos and silences the whole house.
Vargan, open up and we'll spare you and Alara.
Vargan darts around the room, putting food, money, and other important resources into a backpack.
Come out, Vargan, or we'll burn your house to the ground.
Vargan stops collecting resources and quickly makes his way over to Alara and Puckett, who both look very distressed.
Alara, here's everything you need in this bag. Take the hatch and go to Demarius. Don't turn back. Do you understand me?
Alara takes the backpack with tears running down her face. Vargan kisses her and then turns to Puckett.
Puckett, You're more special than you know. You must go with your mother. Help her raise your sister.
But what about you?
All of them pause in silence for a moment. Then Vargan, Puckett, and Alara embrace one another, with tears running down their faces. A moment goes by. A peace washes over them for only a moment, until it's pierced by a loud bang.
Last chance, Vargan. Give us the boy and you and Alara can live.
Vargan runs over to the middle of the room, takes his knife, and jams it into a crack in the wood. The wood lifts, revealing a hidden hatch. Vargan reaches into his pocket and turns toward Puckett one last time.
Puckett, take this amulet. You can never give it away. You must protect it with your very life. Do you understand?
Puckett nods his head, crying, as he is given the beautiful golden amulet.
Go. Now, while you still can.
Alara, holding Puckett's hand, climbs down the hatch and sees an inky black tunnel leading away and further into the darkness, the only light being what was coming from above. That is, until Vargan slammed it shut, and by the sound of it, put something heavy over the hatch. Puckett stands there, listening intently as Alara begins to try to light a small torch.
We know he is here, Vargan. Give us the boy and no blood has to be spilt.
Never.
Fine. Have it your way.
Puckett, petrified by the thought of what might be happening to Vargan, he lets out a shrill scream for less than a moment before he is silenced by Alara's hand.
What was that? I heard something.
Both Puckett and Alara stand incredibly still, not making a single noise.
They are here. In the cabin. Burn it to the ground.
With Vargan dead, Puckett and Alara ran quickly, fleeing for their lives into the darkness, attempting to quiet their terrible sobbing. As they ran, Puckett held tightly to the amulet that Vargan had given him, while it slowly and dimly pulsed in his palm. For Puckett and Alara, their family had shattered before their very eyes. The life they once knew had turned to ash. The skies grow darker, and the Titan continues to reign unchallenged. For now, Puckett's destiny may be greater than anyone could have ever imagined. But that is all for this episode. If you're ready to follow the journey of the greatest hero of all time, join us by subscribing to The Destiny. And if you know someone who would love this kind of story, what are you waiting for? Send it to them and let them experience the Destiny with you. But until we meet again, may you rise to your destiny.